Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Lake County Environmental Health Database Software Management Pre-Proposal Meeting. If that's not a ridiculous title, I don't know what is. Today's meeting is an opportunity for proposers to ask questions specifically about the RFP for this software. You can ask questions about what our needs are, what we are specifically looking for capabilities in the software, or even just process of the RFP, specific questions about the RFP and things like that, conditions within. So this forum is open to pretty much anybody at this stage who wishes to submit a proposal for this software conversion. Just to give you a quick background, currently Lake County uses Envision Connect as our database software. It is time for us to move on from that. We are looking for software that is capable of working in all programs that we facilitate. Coupa is our primary driver in this. Therefore, the software must be capable of communicating with the California Environmental Reporting System, CERS, including next-gen CERS, which I believe is supposed to be debuting in 2025. So we will need to know that the software is capable of meeting that requirement. What else we got here? We have our land use applications. We have food, consumer protection, solid waste, all the things that you would expect of a vibrant environmental health office. My name is Craig Weatherby. I am the Director of Environmental Health for the County of Lake. I am joined by several members of my team. I have Casey Moreno, our Health Services Administration Manager. She will be helping to select this software. I am also joined by Pacade Preciado, Katie Carpenter, Vincent Hawkins, Christina Gerhardt, and Celia Pulido. Is it Pulido? Yeah, sorry. All members of my team who will be helping us to select software. They may or may not actually be on the selection committee, but their opinions will be important to this process. So I think that's pretty much what I got. And I am going to share my screen, which just has the RFP schedule. And I will, there it is, right there. Yes, go. There we go. So if you have questions, go ahead and fire away. Yeah. Look at them go. Okay, I guess I'll start with asking the question, has everybody had the opportunity to read the updated and revised RFP that I submitted last week? If you downloaded the RFP initially, there was a spelling error on the email address for proposal. That has been corrected. And I went ahead and attached the copy of the RFP to the invite for this meeting if you'd like the updated one. So throwing that out there. All right. Well, this will be a very awkward meeting in this way. So what I'll do is I will open up to my senior inspectors, Pacade. Can you talk a little bit about what you see as an ideal fit for software for the county? What kind of things would you like to see corrected in this next version of software that we use?
Usually when we use it for on-site inspections, one of the things that we see is usually when you enter when you reference the code section, for example, the California Retail Food Code, which is for the consumer protection, there's always error message in regards to if you have to do repeated violations or something like that. When you go back to do the routine, to go do the follow-up, there'll always be something that carries over that says no violation noted when there actually is, or when we initiate like a complaint investigation for a foodborne or something like that, then it would say no violation noted. So we've been having issues in regards to certain things that shouldn't be on the document is always there. one of the things that hopefully is corrected on the coming software would be if we have food safety certification when it's already entered through our front office, when we do our initial plan check process and stuff, that should be able to be carried over when we do like the pre-opening inspection or the routine inspections. So those most of them are the ones that we see.
Okay, so some consistency and that.
Yeah, for the land program, there's no way for us to be able to do it using the computer system. So I don't know in the future if we're going to ever use the computer system, but we do use the computer system out in the field to look up data information that's already in existence that we have for our database, but we wouldn't be able to, if we have to do a final inspection and draw a map of how the system was installed, we can't do that on our laptop or interface it that way.
So to draw that in, specifically the programs that we deal with in land development are well permitting.
Yes.
And on-site wastewater treatment system permitting. And that typically we interact with the building department and community development on a regular basis. So software which is capable of handling properties at an APN level and tracking projects, workflows specific to on-site wastewater or construction of them and maintenance of those systems and of wells.
Yeah, the other one would be when we do use permit review, it would be awesome that we could link our comments to all the other agencies. So that way we don't actually do so much work in regards having to cut and paste, print, scan, email our comments. So hopefully we're able to kind of streamline that down a little bit.
Awesome.
And then, yeah, the other thing that I observe is when because we have to do a daily time of our hours and minutes, one of the things that we observe is when we do complaint investigations, our report will be logged in as part of our daily time instead of just us entering the minutes. So you get the whole report, which doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
When you
So just
synchronize.
an improved workflow
Yeah.
of the complaint process. Okay, that's definitely something I would like to see in any new software. Any questions from participants? Yes, Tony.
Yes, great. Thank you for hosting this, the pre-proposal conference. Could you scroll your IP into page? I think it's page 19.
Page 19. All right, let me go down to there.
Yes, Appendix A.
Appendix A. Okay, that's our scope of work, I believe. Scope of service.
Yes, scope of service.
Let me bring that up and share.
Yeah. And it is about a little bit over 1 page of the scope of service. Yes, exactly. Okay. And it's not, we feel that we need more detail about what you are looking for. For instance, let me give you some example. In here, you have project scope. You have permitting. We would like to ask what type of permit you like to manage under the solution. There are different type of permits such as oil and grease, restaurant, or environmental health, such as the inspection, the swimming pool license. I mean, different type of the permitting license that involve different support from the software. Okay. So if you could go in a little bit detail that the type of permitting that you like the system to track, and example of the permit application for each individual permit type, that will help us understand what you are looking for in a permitting category.
Okay, I can.
In the inspection, I'm continue using this as example. Inspection, all right. There are many different inspection type. I go into restaurant, my inspection form is different from when I go to inspect the swimming pool. When I go to different, so there are various inspections. So it could be helpful to let us know how many different inspection type you have. Each inspection type what are the checklists? What are inspection form you use?
Okay,
And bidding, well, you collect the money out from those permittee. How many different type of bidding that you expect system to do, etc. Because when we read this IP, we will puzzle that, are you looking for commercial off-the-shelf product, or are you looking for a consultant to come in and build a brand new software for you from ground up? So it's not quite clear to us of your objective.
okay, I see where you're going with that.
Yes.
Just to so I'll touch a little bit on what I'm looking for. We have 14 programs that we administer here at Environmental Health, and that's listed in page, I want to say 3 or 4 of the RFP. We are looking for let's see, for permitting, use permits or operating permits for restaurants, for example, right? While simultaneously construction permits for land applications and for plan check, things like that, right? We will break down a little more detail if we can. So I will add that to our list to try and see if we can get a little more detail for you. Would a copy of some of our checklists that we currently use, would those be useful to you in that?
Yes, and report, you said report. Do you have any report that you feel that are mandatory that system has to produce for you? That would be helpful for us to evaluate the effort, configuration effort that would be required, because we offer commercial off-the-shelf product plus configuration service.
Okay.
So if we understand what you are looking for, we are able to evaluate the effort required to configure the CART product to meet your business objective.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will see what we can do about getting that a little more detailed for you.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure.
And while you are on that, could you also add some detail about data exchange with CERS, California Environmental Reporting Service?
Yes.
There are many different data flow that supported by CERS. Exactly what are you thinking about sending the data, the type of data you want to send it to CERS? Compliance only, or facility data, or what the type of the data family you expect to submit it to California EPA under CERS data exchange?
So from CERS, I understand there's 6 approvals for CERS. We want two-way communication in CERS this time. Right now, we currently have a one-way communication method. We do our inspections, and those inspections are reported over to CERS, complete with facility information and violations. And we use a CERS wizard for moving the data from Envision Connect over to CERS. In our next iteration, we want two-way integration in which it's a push-pull. I want to be able to download data from CERS to our database to update things like billing addresses, mailing addresses, operator names, things like that. When they submit in CERS, I wanted to automatically update this database in order to keep our mailing and billing addresses current with what they're reporting in CERS.
A follow-up question to you, Craig, is that when you're talking about two-way, typically is that sometimes you use CERS to enter the data. And so you want to grab your data from CERS into your own database. Mm-hmm. Is that the case or no? You are grabbing brand new data that you did not enter into CERS, but someone else enter into CERS and you want to get their data and put into your database. Which scenario are you talking about?
I would like to take a submittal taken from a facility that they submit and pull the data directly from their submittal to update our database. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to streamline our processes and take out the middle step of having to go from an inspector where he sends a physical copy over to my admin team to update, say, a mailing address. I'd like to eliminate those if possible. If the software is capable of doing that, that would be something that I would see as ideal.
Got it.
Anybody else with questions? I don't see any hands. Either just jump right out there, or if you wish to use the reaction button to raise hand, or even just type it in chat if you like. I have a question from my inspector. Yes.
I know that in other counties, they would select, is this digital health or something?
No, we're talking to all of the potential folks who may submit a proposal.
I know that other counties, when they would build a system like this, they would look at surrounding counties and take maybe up to 3 different formats for these checklists we've already mentioned today. We would take these other county checklists and sort of make amalgamation for this county to use. Okay. I wonder if they looked at that.
So basically what he was saying, because I know he's a little bit distant from the mic, is the ability to work with us and help us create custom checklists based on what we have, what we're currently using, and what other counties may or may not be using. So that's kind of one of the things that I would like to have available from the services portion of the request for proposal on this. I saw a hand, but then it disappeared. There it is, Neil Grinwis, Mr. Grinwis, yes. Sir.
Hi there, I'm Neil Grinwis from Hedgerow Software. I just had a quick question. I was going to ask the question, then I decided not to ask the question because we'll probably just put it in writing anyhow, so everybody gets the same response. But typically, of course, we want to know the breakdown of who's going to be using the software, how many inspectors, how many managers, how many administrative staff. Is that something you can speak to on this call? Absolutely.
So I believe I touched a little bit on that at the beginning of the RFP. Let me slide up on there and I'll share it. Give me a sec to find it. It'll take me just a moment because nothing ever happens as quickly as I'd like. Okay, so it looks like we're asking for about a total of 20 users on this. We have a total of 14 folks directly from environmental health, with an additional 6 folks from our administrative team. The breakdown for environmental health is that we have 4 front office staff, administration. We have 6 licensed inspectors, 1 technician as an inspector role, 1 director, and 1 office services supervisor. That's on our side. Then on the administration side, we will have, actually, Casey, who's involved? How many folks do you have involved on our billing and so forth?
So I believe we have 3. We have 1 person who does the billing. We have Celia who does the IT, and then myself. Oh, and then also payroll. I'm sorry. So 4.
So 4 users on the admin side as well.
Yeah.
So does that kind of help a little bit on that?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Just as a side note, currently I said we use Envision Connect. We do use Envision Connect, but we also use Envision Connect Remote. That's 2 separate softwares. An ideal solution moving forward would be 1 software as opposed to 1 field style and 1 on desktop style. So not a deal breaker, but it certainly would be ideal if we could get to just 1 software. So, any other questions? All right, then I'm going to put Chris Gerhardt on the button a little bit. Chris has been our primary inspector for dealing with SERS integration. And so she can speak a little bit better about some of the things we would like to see in that SERS integration. Again, SERS integration is a requirement of the RFP. If the software is not capable of being certified by the state to use with SERS, we will not be able to select it. So it's important that this piece be addressed. Chris, do you have anything you would like to add about the SERS integration portion?
I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I didn't know.
Anything other than it just simply needs to work?
Yeah, it needs to work. You know, yeah, it just needs to work.
There you go. So yes, we have that. Let's see. Okay, those are my seniors that are available. Katie, would you like to talk a little bit about the front office services that are need to be supported in this software?
Yes, thank you, Craig. So a little bit of what we've been noticing with our programming that we've been using is in order to get like certifications added into the system, you have to have 2 pages open. So the facility will allow you to add the certificate, but then it's not really uploading into the program. So we have to open up a separate one, manage certified professionals, and then upload to facility. So we're doing double the work when it should just be something that's flowing. Like I should be able to go into the facility, add the professional, add their certificate number, the when it expires, and then it should automatically upload. So I'm seeing a lot of that. We also have been having glitches when I'm working on permits. So depending if it's a facility, a food facility, part of our water programs that we have, it's glitching and not allowing us to make permits. I have a facility, you know, I think it's like Westford, or I'll have to talk to Ashley, but it's coming up as facility not specified. So stuff's just not connecting, and it is taking a little bit longer for us to get our job done. So something to kind of simplify and hopefully bridge it a little bit better than having to go through 2 different things to get to, you know, one outcome would be a great thing. And then
So I'm seeing that as a this is something that we would be asking for on the workflow side as part of the services of the software of the RFP. Improving those workflows, looking for efficiencies. Those are things that we would definitely like to have included in the RFP or in your proposals on how you can help us work through those workflows and make sure we're getting the best efficiency that we can using your software.
be greatly appreciated.
I imagine it would. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of overwork, right? So. Right. I know, Celia, your favorite thing about this software that you would like is for it to be easier to load onto the computers if it is a load on. If it's a cloud-based software, just easy log on management, things like that. We are asking for a cloud storage as part of this contract. We want storage offsite in cloud hosting. So we would like to see that as part of the process as well, as part of the bid. Right.
Can I also add, can you hear me?
Absolutely, go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay. Can I also add, currently our current software uses Crystal Reports for all of our reporting systems. Some of you may know that is not the easiest reporting system to create reports on. So we are interested in knowing what software or system your software is used for reporting, and if they are customizable. Can we create our own reports, or do we have to go directly through your IT system to get customized reports created?
Excellent, thank you, sir. Yes, Tony, yes, is marked July 1st of 2020, well, July 14th, 2024 is when we want a full implementation and stepping away from our current system and fully functional with the new system by July of 2024. We're giving a year for this process. Okay. The way I envision this transfer, let me bring up my calendar here, my schedule. Let me share that again because I want to make sure everybody's on the same page, seeing the same thing. So here we go. In this, you can see where we have, we've issued June 16th. Today, obviously, is the pre-proposal conference. We'll be following this as closely as we are able. The hard date is the July 14th, 2023 for the receipt of your submittals or your proposals. The dates after which are a little bit more amorphous. It's based on need. But we expect to, whoever ends up being the selected, the winner of this award, we will expect to be presenting that to our Board of Supervisors for approval in October of 2023, which will give us 9 months to begin implementation. So as quick, you can move as quickly as you like, or as a little bit more drawn out. But we expect that it will take at least 3 months to come in, train people on how to use the software, get it designed specifically for the workflows that we're looking for, the reports that we're asking for, or at least training on how to create the reports. I did specifically call into the RFP a request for training, 3 separate trainings to be conducted, one at the inspector level, one at the office's front staff level, and one at the administration level. So that each group gets a specific training to the job that they are being asked to do on this software. So that is somewhere in there. I would have to chase it down. And I'm anticipating running both softwares one that we currently are running and the new software simultaneously during the transition period. So I would like to do it as little as time as possible, but I don't want to jump away from one into another and then find problems that we can't undo later. So I want to give a lot of time and a lot of effort to making sure that everything's up and running before we cast off from our current software. So that is kind of an expectation that I have. Okay. Any other questions? Awesome. Before we end the meeting, if I could get a chat. Oh, I do have another chat here. Does the solution need to interface with the county's finance system for tracking fee payment? Casey, can you answer that question? Does the solution need to interface with the county's finance system?
No, I don't believe it does. Our current one does not, and it hasn't caused any issues, so I would say no.
I will put that down as it would be nice, but not required. So yes, Pekade, yes.
I don't know if this was mentioned before. Another thing that would be nice would be the ability to connect or port our inspection report into our webpage posting, because our inspection are mandatory and we have to post it for the public. So is there the ability for us, when we're done with the inspection report, is to click it and then it ports automatically to our webpage and post it without having our front office having to do that?
I am so glad you mentioned that. Let me go back to my share here.
Yeah, then it also saves us a lot of time too. And then because we have to give a copy to our operators and owners, if they could just go in and see it, then they already got a copy.
So I will direct your attention to Appendix A, Scope of Services. Under Project Scope, specifically Public Records Access and Remote Online Payment Tool. Both of those have the star section, which requires selected solution must provide the ability for customers to complete business activities online, such as pay bills online, provide test results, view inspection results, or other business activities. County also needs a way to make information made available to first responders in a mobile-friendly format. This is a requirement of the scope of service for the software. Yes, Becky.
One more item is, we do a lot of training, and there's, when we do dual inspection, when we take people to do, training, or we request for backup due to safety, or we need witnesses, to be able to have the ability, if we click the icon for dual inspection, that the other inspectors, if we enter their employee ID number or something, when we sync, that should automatically go into their daily time and activity where they don't have to enter it again. That's one of the possibilities, if it's possible.
Yep. So that's definitely something we would like to have available, is software being able to handle more than one inspector, so that it's not actually generating two separate inspections when they put routine inspection. But that something, again, we'll discuss in the workflow section. So it's something we'll need help with. Neil, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just wondering, can you expand a little bit on the, you mentioned the remote system for first responders. Can you explain that a little bit better, please?
Sure, of course. So as the Coupa, we are required to provide emergency responders information related to hazardous material locations, inventories, things such as that. We would like whatever the new software to be able to facilitate that by either being a gateway to SIRS through our portal, or pulling information directly from in a mobile-friendly format. I don't know exactly which formats the fire stations are using. I know that every time we have a major disaster here in Lake County, they're using a different one each time, but we want that ability to give them access to that information quickly. Right now, we currently provide them logins to SIRS directly for them to have read access only for facilities, and that may suffice as we move forward as well. But if your software is able to provide another solution which proves to be faster and more user-friendly, that is something we would be very interested in.
Excellent, thank you. Oh, and I assume we're assuming online access. You're not talking about offline, are you?
No, I'm talking online direct access from their mobile device.
Excellent, thank you.
And just again, for mobile devices, I am also looking for software that is capable of operating on a mobile device, such as an iPad or a Samsung Galaxy Pad or something along those lines. It is my intention that my inspectors be in possession of a computer, either laptop or desktop, under the Windows environment, either an iPad or Galaxy Tab, and an iPhone. Those are the three electronic devices that I'd like my inspectors to be able to operate this software from. All right, stop share here so I can see everybody's screen. No hands up. All right. If at all possible, before you guys leave, if one of your team members from each of the proposing agencies or companies, if you could please identify which company you represent in the chat, so that I have those and we know who attended. I know most of you by name, not all though. So if you could please include that before you guys log out, and I will go ahead and end our meeting. Thank you very much for joining us today. You have until July 7th, I believe. If you have any additional questions, you may submit them up to July 7th. We will respond to them as quickly as we are able. All questions will be made public so that everybody has access to the same information, and will be provided as an addendum to the RFP. Thank you, Jim from Acela. I appreciate it. It's good seeing you again. GovTech, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Robin. And Adam and Neil from Hedgerow, thank you very much. And any of my team, you may log out now if you wish, because I'm just going to do a little cleanup here. Tony from Infotech. Thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate you. Oh, yes, Tony, you had a question.
Yeah, I say thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. And 1, 2, 3, 4. See Hedgerow, Whitney with GovTech, excellent. From Trag from GovTech, excellent. Diane, April, Lulu, Adam, Susan, Cameron. Okay, Cameron, Health Space, GovTech. Okay, thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate your time, and I really look forward to seeing everybody's proposals. And wish you all the very best of luck. And next time hopefully I'll be talking to you about awarding. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.